My favorite Pokemon game as a kid was Pokemon Silver, and Generation 2 is my favorite to this day. I was just a little bit too young when Red and Blue came out, but I did play them at the same time. I remember the biggest mind blow in the Generation 2 games was getting to revisit the Kanto region after defeating the 8 Johto gym leaders and the Elite Four. It was amazing to bring your Johto team into a region where that used to be impossible. I remember even as a kid, the talk of the town was Game Freak doing this for every game. Instead of having standalone regions, we would just keep getting a new region to play and a new set of Pokemon to bring to the old regions. Well, as we know now, that never happened again. When Ruby and Sapphire released in 2002, it was just the Hoenn region. No way to bring your new Pokemon back to any of the old regions you had grown to be fond of. This was disappointing, but it didn't really matter, as Gen 3 is regarded as one of the best Game Freak has ever done, and the new content we got more than made up for it. I absolutely loved it for those long road trips in the backseat with my Game Boy Advance SP. However, that didn't stop us from dreaming of a game that combined everything we've already gotten. Now we kind of have that with the legally gray third-party game PokeMMO with regions 1 through 5 unlocked and able to be explored, but PokeMMO is an entirely different feel than the original single-player RPG games that Pokemon was designed to be. It is cool to explore the regions on that game, but with other people running around and PvP being a major focus, you lose the charm of doing it on your own. Then there's Romhacks that add Pokemon from later generations back into the older games, like Pokemon Unbound being FireRed based, but having all Pokemon through Generation 8. But the issue with Pokemon Unbound in the context of this video is that it's set in a brand new region, which is fine on its own, but it's kind of surprising there hasn't been any vanilla attempt to combine regions into the classic early games and capitalize on the growing nostalgia and the growing contempt for the newer games coming out. And lastly, when FireRed and LeafGreen came out 2 years later in 2004 as direct and improved Gen 3 versions of Red and Blue, there was support for trading over Gen 2 and 3 Pokemon in the game to be used, or via breeding or waiting all the way until the post-game on Sevi Islands, but that's about it. You couldn't go catch a wild Wingull from Hoenn and use it on your team in Kanto against Brock in the same game. But that is beginning to change, as this last week a brand new Romhack came out of nowhere and is beginning to build the game we've all dreamed of. This is the brand new Romhack, Pokemon Crossroads. Pokemon Crossroads is a new ROM hack based from Pokemon Emerald in a very early beta phase that currently at the time of this video adds the entirety of Kanto into the game, essentially directly copied and pasted from its Gen 3 counterparts FireRed and LeafGreen. Nothing is left out from either game. The entirety of both games, Emerald and FireRed, can be played from beginning to end. This means 16 badges, 8 from each region, 8 Elite Four members, 2 champions to defeat, and both games' storylines, Team Rocket and Team Aqua and Magma, are both fully added. It also has the post-game content from both regions. Another great thing about it is that you can choose the region you start in, so if you'd rather start in Kanto, you can, or if you'd rather start in Hoenn, you can. This also differs from other multi-regional ROM hacks and Gen 2, as you don't really have to wait at all to travel between regions or do side tasks to get a boat ticket or anything like that. Once you get to Viridian City in Kanto or Oldale Town in Hoenn, aka the first 2 cities encountered after your hometown in both games respectively, there is a simple door added to the top left of the Pokemon centers. No loading times, no wait animations, you just walk in and boom, you're in the other game. What's kind of cool about this is whatever version you choose to start in, the other game's intro will have yet to be completed, meaning you can start the game with a Squirtle and Torchic if you're so inclined. Combining the 2 region starters right away is really cool and a nice touch. Now, that does get a bit glitchy with this, and I just want to remind anyone from the future that this is the literal beta 1.0 of this ROM hack I'm showing and talking about. I'm sure it will be ironed out as time goes on. Now that you have your 2 starters, you can choose which game to progress, and you can always go back to the other region if you'd like to add a specific Pokemon to your team from either game, or fight the gyms in any order. The only downside of this before you get the Fly HM from either game is that you have to run back to Viridian City or Oldale Town every time. But that's not really a huge issue. I mean, if you think of the Gen 2 games, you have to go to the SS Aqua and go through the process of staying on it overnight every single time, unless you have Fly, of course, I guess, but that's neither here nor there. You get fly relatively early in both games, so it's just a minor inconvenience for the mind blow it is to instantly be transported into a new game. Like, this gives me the tingly feeling just like it did in the first step back into Kanto in my first ever silver playthrough. Now, one major downside in its current state, there is no level scaling system for gyms. That means if you beat the entirety of the FireRed LeafGreen Kanto, then go to Hoenn and fight Roxanne, she will still have her level 12 Geodude and level 15 Nosepass. Similarly, the NPC route trainers have no level scaling either. If you've ever played the super popular Pokemon Crystal Clear Romhack, which is essentially an open world Pokemon Crystal, you'll understand the importance of level scaling in situations like this. This is a huge downside, but it is on the roadmap to be fixed going forward. I mean, if you really wanted to nitpick, you could edit the gym leader levels and scale things yourself. Another downside is there's currently no centralized screen to view your trainer info, like how close you are to completing all 16 badges, for example. That'd be a nice feature to have. One other note that's important is that you cannot import a current FireRed LeafGreen or Emerald save file into the Romhack. It will lead to a lot of memory corruption and just will crash. It has to be a freshly erased copy of Emerald. So if you have a beloved save file in one of the games, unfortunately you won't be able to play it on Pokemon Crossroads. Again though, reminder that it's in version beta 1.0 when this video is dropped, and I have a feeling things will change very quickly. So how do you install Pokemon Crossroads? If you don't need the help, feel free to skip to the next section for a look at what's coming next in the Romhack. First, you'll need a legal GBA ROM file of Pokemon Emerald. There are tutorials on how to turn a cartridge into a ROM if you need it. Next, using the link in the description, head to the Pokemon Crossroads GitHub page. Click on the Releases tab to the right. Scroll down to the latest releases, and now you can choose. If you'd like to start in Pallet Town, choose the Kanto UPS file, and if you'd like to start in Littleroot Town, choose the Hoenn UPS file. After you choose, head over to the ROM Patcher website, also linked in the description. Upload your Pokemon Emerald GBA file to the top ROM slot. Upload the UPS patch file you just downloaded to the patch file slot on the bottom. It will automatically patch and download the new GBA file. Now you can open the patched GBA file on whatever emulator you use, and that's it. It's ready to go. No further tweaking required. As I'm making and editing this video, they're already releasing hotfixes. It looks like the weird glitches from the intro has already been fixed from earlier in the video. Definitely keep following for the latest patches as they come out. So what's coming next to Pokemon Crossroads? Well, the biggest and most exciting planned update is probably what you've been thinking of if you're still watching. Adding the beloved Generation 2 Johto region into the game. This is going to be a bit of a challenge, as the main reason this hasn't been done before is because unlike Gen 1 and Gen 3, Generation 2 does not have a version release that lives on the Game Boy Advanced. Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal were released for the Game Boy Color. And of course, the remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver were released for the DS way later in 2009. This is going to require a lot of work and tweaking, but considering the love this project has already received and the intricate care the developer is putting into it, I have good faith we will finally get something polished that we can use as an all-in-one nostalgia extravaganza. A couple other noteworthy upcoming features they are planning is a new warp system, so it probably won't live in this Pokemon Center very long. Adding the modern battle engine as an option, including modern moves and mechanics, various quality of life things like reusable TMs, and the ability to fly between regions without the warp at various landing points. All in all, this is going to be an absolute beast, and if completed smoothly will be by far the best ROM hack of the early Pokemon games ever made. This definitely has made my week, and I will be hyper-focusing on it for the near future. The project also has a Discord where you can be notified of all releases as it happens and provide feedback and suggestions. It also needs help, so if this inspired you and you have the skill set, please consider helping develop this. The last thing I'll say, one of the most amazing pieces is that the end game goal of this project is to provide a base framework for multi-region ROM hack development. So if someone wants to do a custom ROM hack idea using multiple regions, that part of the process has already been taken care of. I'm just happy someone has taken on that for the good of the Pokemon community. There's hope in this cruel world. As for me, welcome to the post-Minecraft era of Paladin Ryan. Subscribe for more nostalgia-fueled content and old video game topics you won't see anywhere else, and I'll see you in the next video.